What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Apocalypse Movies. That is Brian. I am Jake, and we are here for a spoiler-filled review of Bad Times at the El Royale, the new Drew Goddard film starring Jon Hamm, Jeff Bridges, Cynthia Erivo, Kaylee Spenny, Lewis Pullman, Chris Hemsworth, and Dakota Johnson. That was the number 7. This film is based on a Tahoe hotel called the El Royale, which sits on the Nevada and California border. So you can basically decide between California and Nevada, which is a really cool idea, actually. It's focusing on 7 strangers in this kind of wacky mystery thriller that was highly anticipated, specifically by us two. Mm-hmm. We were very much looking forward to this movie. We saw it at separate times. I saw it at the time this comes out yesterday. You saw it the day before me. Mm-hmm. So we both had time to kind of sit on it and think about it. Kind of talk about your anticipation for the movie, how much you're looking forward to it, and then maybe just quickly what you overall thought of the movie, the immediate reaction as you walked out of the theater.
I was super excited for it. I thought it was going to be one of those thrillers that messes with your mind, which it pretty much was.
Well, like The Cabin in the Woods, which is what Drew Goddard directed before.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh.
I was highly anticipating this one. It honestly rivaled Venom for me, at least, for this month's anticipated movies. What? You didn't think so?
Venom is that high anticipated for you?
It was my number 1 this month.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
The cast was awesome.
Bonkers cast.
I loved the old feel of it.
Yeah.
Like it has 60s, 50s?
I think it was the 70s.
70s?
They talked about the Vietnam War,
which
happened. And then remember Jeff Bridges' character.
Well, it went 10 years in the
future, so I
too.
think it was like early 70s.
Are we spoilers on this?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just make sure.
Almost everyone dies.
Okay. So, all right. But yeah, I mean, it was very up there for what I wanted from this movie.
Yeah, I was the same. I don't remember if I had it 1 or 2. I know that it was kind of a tiebreaker between The First Man and
I think you
Bad
had
Times.
it at like 3.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because I remember seeing like.
Interesting. All right. Well, even if it was at 3, I have been looking for this movie for a while. I'm a Drew Goddard fanboy. I think that he should be directing almost everything. I love what he does as far as work. It's always very distinctive. It's almost like you're watching a modern day Tarantino because his movies are so different from everybody's. Mm-hmm. He tries to take risks, and he does that with this movie. I love the characters that he kind of developed and the way the actors portrayed them. I thought each and every one of them did a really good job of what they were given. I may not have liked them all at times, but I think that with what Drew Goddard was giving them, they really knocked it out of the park. I thought the story was killer too. I thought, no pun intended. I thought that it was a really cool story because everything was kind of tied together in this twisted way, and he told it in a almost backwards fashion. He kept going forward and then coming back a few steps, and then going forward, coming back a few steps, which I was very invested because it always kept me interested.
True.
And I liked the way it ended too. I thought that the tie-in with bringing Chris Hemsworth character in and kind of what he was and who he was interesting. I will say that for my anticipation level, it didn't quite meet my anticipation level, but it was a really, 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 really good movie.
I agree with you on that.
Really good movie. One of this month's best movies. I think it'll go down as probably one of the best movies of the year by a lot of people because it's so different and interesting. And like Ryan said, it kind of messed with your head and kept you thinking the other time. So
I took my mom, who does not go to the movies very often, and she's extremely picky with movies, and she actually liked it. She was thoroughly engaged with the best way we described it was like a bunch of different puzzle pieces, and eventually slowly you started putting it together, and at the very end
it's a good way of saying it. Yeah,
your
definitely.
whole story.
Let me ask you this. So with spoilers intact here, what did you think about Jon Hamm dying so early?
I didn't like that.
You didn't like that? Why?
Because I liked where his character was going, and then it ended. I was like,
I'm with you. But I also think that may have been the point of it. To open the door for Chris Hemsworth's character.
I mean, I personally would have loved to see maybe if there was he was looking for the coal. I mean, obviously, I think he was I mean, we got pretty much that he was looking for that tape, right?
Yes,
and just
I
investigating
believe
in
so.
general.
I believe so.
Oh no,
yes.
he was getting the stuff out of the hotel.
Yeah, he was searching the hotel room. Yeah,
because they were bugging it.
Yes, he knew the FBI or whoever he was working for.
Yeah.
DC. He knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
I was shocked the way that he died and how he died and how fast he died. He did come back a little bit later on in a different kind of storyline because he told every character's storyline from their perspective, which is why I was so interested. And I love the title cards too, like Room 5 and Washington D.C. and all that type of stuff.
It made you think too. Okay,
well, and that's where I referenced Tarantino because Tarantino does that with his stuff. It was almost like we were watching chapters, which was really cool. But I was definitely shocked by how fast he died. I thought the Dakota Johnson and Kaylee Spenny stuff, which is her sister, was really interesting, and how they tied in Chris Hemsworth. I wasn't 100% sure how I felt about the cult. I thought it was like out of left field in a way.
Yeah, I would have liked to
dive into it a little bit more.
Yeah, or just know what the cult's objective was. Like every objective has or every cult has an objective.
That's true.
They're they either worship someone or they're anti-government or something. They just kind of seemed like a bunch of weird hippies were starting a cult.
It's until the very end, and then we really learned kind of who they were. And they were kind of like bullies almost in a way.
I mean, they obviously were followers of Chris Hemsworth's character, but what was he?
Yeah, no, I 100% agree
following?
with you. Yeah,
that was the only thing I kind of didn't like. I just was I should say about Chris Hemsworth. And because I just got cult leader.
Yeah, he was a cult leader.
But
he was like a wacky cult leader though.
Yeah,
I love the way he played him too.
Oh yeah, how he constantly just
love the way he played him, which is really cool.
Yeah,
so,
and my mom thoroughly enjoyed him having a shirt off.
Everybody does. So so obviously this is a character-based story. Let's run through the characters that we haven't talked about yet. So we have Jeff Bridges. Awesome.
Amazing.
I thought he was so good.
Stole the movie.
I love the way that they revealed his character too and tied him into Cynthia Erivo's character, which her name is her last name is Sweet. I forget her name.
Oh my god. It's
it's like Dolores or
Dorothy? No. Is it
Darlene.
Darlene
Sweet. Darlene Sweet.
It.
So they kind of tied those two characters together, which was really interesting because they were in Room 4 and Room 5.
When she smacked him with the...
I was so shocked at that. I lost it.
I think I like this movie a little bit better because there was this old lady that was sitting next to my mom. She had to have been 75. And every single time something like that, something big... John Hamm getting shot, the old lady. Oh my god!
Well, I'll say that he created some really cool moments with characters as far as those smashing him overhead with the champagne bottle or John Hamm getting shot because they were out of nowhere. What did you think of Louis Pullman's character who played Miles, the hotel clerk?
Loved him.
I thought he was probably one of the best characters.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere. He wasn't advertised in the movie.
In his plot, there was no plot hole with him because it was tied together very nicely at the end with the Vietnam stuff. And then he kind of was like, I'm going Rambo on everyone with the gun. I thought his character was awesome. And he was off and on here and there, and he was kind of the whole priest stuff with Jeff Bridges and wanting to, tell his sins, and it kind of nice little tie-in at the end when he died.
That part's sad.
It is. It was a tough scene, but I like Jeff Bridges' character.
No!
I like how Jeff Bridges' character and Cynthia Erivo was save him, and he was kind of went in full priest mode.
Those two played so well off each other. They worked so well together.
She's unknown and she's good.
She's needs really to be good. In a lot more stuff.
She's in that Widows movie upcoming.
Oh, okay.
With the four women that take on the bank robbery stuff.
Oh, okay. There was a preview before.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, what did you think of Dakota Johnson?
Good.
I love her.
Yeah.
I think she is so underrated.
I love when she wrote "fuck you."
Oh, that's so good.
I was laughing pretty hard.
It's unfortunate because I think she got lost in the 50 Shades of Grey shadow. Mm-hmm. She did that for a few years, and she was and people were like, "Oh, she's just this girl who does this kind of stuff." She's really good.
She's awesome. I was bummed when they shot her.
Dude, when he pulled the gun towards her, I was like, "No."
Yeah, and he took her
It's a heartbreaking moment because her little sister is just sitting there watching her die.
The little sister was 100%
did not care at all.
Under the spell of Chris Hemsworth's character.
Dude, that bonkers.
They were not. I like that they didn't like there was something that always happened or an importance to that person dying.
Yeah.
It wasn't like just like that character was thrown to the side. Like, oh, okay, that one's gonna die. It was like, okay, that one died because of da 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 da, or it just kind of like it for me every single time it was like the bow was tied. Like, all right, the story's told. That's that one. All right, now we're moving on to the next one. Eventually, all right, that one's done. On to the next one.
All right, so moving on from the characters, two more things before we get out of here. One, did you like that we didn't find out who the hotel owners were? That who
Yeah,
was
I didn't
kind
care.
of okay. I kind of like the mystery that was shrouded around it. But two, did you like that we didn't find out who was on the film?
No.
That's
Okay.
the big one. So
I didn't give a crap about the hotel owners.
So the story that there's an underlying story through this entire film of Lewis Pullman's character having this film reel that he kept and didn't tell his owners about. And I imagine it's the president, a former president that died.
I mean, that's
or like a senator or something.
I thought maybe it was Kennedy.
I thought it was JFK.
Yeah,
I thought it was JFK that they were talking about because they kept referring to him that he was dead.
Well, they said, just think how much it was worth when he was alive, and now
Exactly.
you can change his narrative.
And
or
so
something.
basically, they have film of him with a whore basically in his room, and just going at it. And they kept saying, "Oh my God, is that who I think it is?" Like they kept referring to it.
And whoever it was killed the whore, didn't he? Yeah.
I missed that. If that's
I think
what
he
happened.
said he beat her to death.
Oh wow, I missed that.
I could be
Okay.
wrong. It might have been a different one, but I know at some point someone said that one of the guests beat. I'm pretty sure it was.
That would be very interesting. Now, whether or not it is him, we don't know because it's not revealed.
Yeah.
I'm torn because I like the fact that they threw it in the fire because it was character growth for Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to see what was going on.
I mean, it was fine, like, not having it. I just, my own selfish wanted
100%.
to know who it was.
100%. I wonder if there's something like maybe Drew Goddard's going to reveal that online or something, or keep it a
Maybe.
secret because it may be tainting his memory or whatever if it's in a film.
I think the movie was so, like, good with, like, the storytelling that, like, I left not minding.
It was a cool story point.
But I wanted to know,
Yes,
just out of my
yeah,
own curiosity.
100%. So, all right, before we get out of here, Brian, do you recommend or do you not recommend Bad Times at the El Royale?
Definitely should see it.
Yeah, I agree.
If
100%.
my mom enjoys a movie like this, you should definitely see it.
I 100% recommend this. I recommend it for a lot of people because it's intriguing, it's interesting, it's investing, and the characters are really, really good as well. So, that's our spoiler-filled review of Bad Times at the El Royale, the latest Drew Goddard film with an amazing cast. I'm not going to mention them again because we've mentioned them too many times throughout this review. Head down in the comments and let us know what you thought of the film. Did you like it? Or did you like the characters? Did you like not finding out who was on the film? Leave all your thoughts down there and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. For Brian, for myself, can't thank you enough for joining us on this review. Head to apocalypsemovies.com, this YouTube channel for everything as far as trailer reactions, movie reviews, Star Wars, and movie news stuff every day on the website. So again, thank you for joining us, and until next time, see you later.